Ancient Sparta, a prominent city-state in Greek history, evokes images of fierce warriors, strict discipline, and a society that has no tolerance for weakness. The story of Sparta is not only a story of military prowess, but also a symbol of sacrifice, loyalty, and a society where power is traded for the brutality of war. From epic battles to strict rules of living, ancient Sparta continues to inspire and admire, as well as a testament to the power of discipline and relentless fighting spirit. Here is a detailed look at the history, social structure, culture, trade, military power, and decline of ancient Sparta. Sparta is located in the Laconia region of the Peloponnese Peninsula and was founded around the 10th century BC. Sparta was one of the first city-states in Greece to develop a distinctive military and social system. Historians believe that Sparta was founded from the unification of tribes in this area, with the leadership of kings of the Ageid and Eurypontid dynasties. The formation and development of Sparta is recorded as very long, and Spartan society was mainly focused on a common goal: maintaining military power and strict discipline. The social structure of Sparta was highly hierarchical and strict, which was also the organizational structure of the Spartan army, consisting of three main classes. Spartiates, military citizen class. This was the highest class in Spartan society, consisting of citizens who were well trained in military affairs and had the right to participate in the political affairs of the city-state. Spartiates were professional warriors, living mainly to serve in the army, protect Sparta, and participate in wars. They were the main fighting force of the Spartan army and were organized into units called loci. To become a Spartiates, male citizens had to undergo a rigorous training process called Agoge. Periokoi, semi-free class. Periokoi were people who lived in the area around Sparta but were not full citizens. They were responsible for activities such as manufacturing and crafts, and had the right to own property, but had no right to participate in political meetings or military leadership. People in this class did not have the right to participate in politics, but were still obliged to serve in the army. They mainly participated as support soldiers and played an important role in military campaigns. Helots, slaves. Helots were people conquered from other areas in the Peloponnese, especially from Messenia. They were considered slaves. Helots did not participate in combat, but they played an important role in providing food and logistical services for the army. Helots were not free and were oppressed, but their large numbers were always a potential threat to Spartan power. Therefore, Sparta developed a strict system of supervision over Helots to prevent revolts. Spartan culture and lifestyle focused on discipline, self-control, and military prowess. These values were evident in all areas of Spartan society. Agoge. This was a system of compulsory military training for all Spartan youth from the age of 7. The youths underwent rigorous training, not only in military skills but also in physical fitness, mental fortitude, and obedience. By the age of 20, Spartan youth were considered adults and ready to serve in the military. Diet, lifestyle, and activities. Spartans lived a very austere and simple life. Meals were usually simple, unpretentious, and aimed at maintaining physical strength and health. Luxury and pleasure were forbidden, as they were seen as factors that undermined discipline. In terms of trade and economy, while other Greek city-states focused on trade and developed a diversified economy, Sparta had a relatively simple economy that relied primarily on agriculture and slaves. Sparta's system of production and exchange was not as developed as that of Athens, and its dependence on the Helots for agricultural work meant that Sparta had little interest in developing industries or international trade. Military strength was the decisive factor in the existence and development of Sparta. The Spartans were famous for their fighting ability, especially in the Phalanx battle, a form of fighting with warriors lined up horizontally, standing side by side and using long spears. The Spartan army was trained to fight in all circumstances, with a spirit of solidarity and absolute discipline. Sparta's military training began from a very young age, and this was a decisive factor in maintaining the military strength of the city-state. The Agoge was a rigorous and comprehensive training system for Spartan youth from the age of 7 until they became adult warriors. The Agoge emphasized absolute loyalty to the Spartan state, discipline and sacrifice for the community. Training the mind and fighting spirit was very important, helping Spartan warriors to be able to endure in all combat situations. Spartan youth were trained to overcome fear and pain, and to be willing to sacrifice for the good of the city-state. During their training, Spartan youth were forced to live in conditions of deprivation and to be self-sufficient, learning how to find food and protect themselves from danger. This made them resilient and able to survive in harsh conditions. Spartan warriors were famous for their extremely effective use of weapons and tactics in combat, especially in infantry battles. The spear, Dory, was the main weapon of the Spartan army. The spear was about 2.5 to 3 meters long, used in the Phalanx tactic. Spartan warriors would use the spear to attack opponents while maintaining their formation. Shield aspis. The Spartan shield was very heavy and large, usually about 1 meter in diameter. This shield was made of wood, covered with bronze, and could protect the warrior's entire body during combat. The shield was an indispensable part of the Phalanx tactic, helping to protect the formation and create a solid defense. Sword, siphos. The sword was used as a secondary weapon when the warrior ran out of spears or when fighting in close combat. The Spartan sword was quite short and had a curved blade, making it easy for warriors to use in close combat situations. Phalanx tactic. This was the most prominent tactic of the Spartan army. The phalanx is a battle formation in which warriors line up in rows, close together, and use their shields to protect themselves. Each warrior uses his spear to attack the enemy while protecting each other. This tactic creates a concentrated and difficult-to-defeat force when warriors work closely together. The Spartan army participated in many important wars in ancient Greek history, and these battles demonstrated their superior fighting ability. The Battle of Thermopylae, 480 BC, is the most famous battle in Sparta's history, where 300 Spartans under the command of King Leonidas fought bravely against the massive Persian army. Although the Spartans lost the battle, this battle became a symbol of sacrifice and courage. The Peloponnesian War, 431 to 404 BC, was a long war between the Peloponnesian League led by Sparta and the Delian League led by Athens. The Peloponnesian War was where Sparta defeated its archenemy Athens and gained power in Greece for a long time. However, this war also weakened both city-states and was also the beginning of Sparta's decline. Battle of Leuctra, 371 BC. Sparta was finally defeated at the Battle of Leuctra by the Theban army, leading to a serious weakening of Sparta. This battle was a major turning point in the military history of Greece, as Thebes adopted new tactics and defeated the Spartan army, ending their military dominance. The decline of the Spartan army began in the 4th century BC. After the Battle of Leuctra, 371 BC, Sparta was no longer as militarily powerful as before. Their army could not adapt to changes in tactics and technology, and the military system based on professional warriors gradually became obsolete as other city-states developed more flexible armies, leading to a decline in Sparta's military power and position. In addition, although the Spartan social system was stable for many centuries, internal conflicts between the citizen classes began to undermine the foundation of the city-state. Class divisions, especially between the Spartiates and the Periokoi, became increasingly sharp. These factors, along with the depletion of the citizenry, made it impossible for Sparta to maintain its military dominance. By the end of the 2nd century BC, Sparta became part of the Roman Empire. Although it retained some autonomy, the decline of its military and political power saw Sparta lose its role as a military power. Despite its decline, Sparta's legacy lives on in Western culture. The image of the Spartan warrior, his discipline and relentless fighting spirit, remains a great inspiration to later cultures. Sparta is a symbol of military might, but also a reminder of the dangers of rigidity and inflexibility in a changing world. In conclusion about ancient Sparta, we can see that this city-state was not only a symbol of military power, but also a special social system, where every aspect of life was aimed at maintaining the survival and glory of Sparta. Through its war tactics, rigorous training, and a culture that respected discipline, Sparta left a deep mark on the history of the ancient world. However, the decline of Sparta is also a clear testament to the constant change of societies and the need to adapt to those changes. Although it no longer maintains the power it once had, Sparta's legacy continues to live on through historical stories, lessons of courage, sacrifice, and fighting spirit that never gives up. Indeed, ancient Sparta, whether in its heyday or in its decline, remains an indelible model in the human mind of a society that puts power and honor above all else.